Hello, welcome to Z Explains BG. I am Z. We're playing a 7-point match on backgammonhub.com against this player student. Looks like Alfie made a bunch of nice changes to the site recently. They seem to be working well. Good match to my opponents. Like for a while, we were on the daily puzzle. We were stuck on just like doubling decisions, double cube decisions, I should say. That was caused by a bug, I think, or just I don't know. When he gathered the problems, he gathered more cube decisions than checker plays. So that's how it resulted in a bunch of cube decisions. After most of them got after like we went through most of the ones that he gathered. Anyways, if that makes sense. Okay, so anyways, 2-2. Okay, so I guess I want to all sorts of plays. Maybe I should actually hit here. Try to contain that back checker. Actually, going to shut my door. Oh, looks like he danced. Do not have anything. Okay, and then bad number here, I can cube. No. Okay, I'll make the point I could have made a couple turns ago. I want to go about that 2-2 a little bit. I kind of like how I ended up playing it. You know, it's got one checker back versus my 2, so seems like hitting him has a lot of value. Trying to keep him contained. Yeah, all sorts of stuff though. Okie dokie. I mean, I could play like safe. Race is close. Distribution's all screwed up, but I don't know. It's safe. Another play would be enter with the 5 and then slot the 7, say, with the 1. That might have been better. I think I would rather have this checker up on the 20 than on the 24. Okay, pretty solid. Oof. So I can make his 2 and run to the 16. That's pretty good. Now I think I'm still taking here because he's got all this stuff to bring home. It'd be a pretty reasonable cube, but yeah, I think there's just enough contact here, and I got a little bit of race. So it seemed like the double no double decision was more the question there. Okay. Good. Bad. Ooh, I don't like it. I really don't like it. 13-10 probably with the 3. Okay, good flexibility, good builders for the 7. None of the other 3s do that much. I do get to hit them on 5-5. I would probably still do it though. Because I don't know, it's still not trivial for him to bring this home. So it seems like the flexibility should matter. All right, so he's trying to deny me a second anchor, which makes sense. Oh, now I got 3-3 and 5-5 if he does this. So probably there's something slightly better here. Like 13-12 is better than 8-7. I don't want to stack the 6 like this. You can just remain sort of flexible in the outfield. Took away a builder also. So that's kind of a weird play. Alrighty, let's see how he wants to play it. Probably not get hit on 5-5 anymore. Like, I don't know, now he's like closer to home, so I would take maybe less risk here. So this is okay, although 2-2 would hit home. So there's probably something better. Like, you could have made his 9 and his 8 points or something. I don't know, there's probably a bunch of stuff there. Well, best for the one is this, but I guess I'm getting gammon too much. So I still win a little bit here. Oh, I can do this. Maybe this. Just leave one blot. Aces and nines. Good good contact against this guy. I don't get many shots here. Oh, I got him. All right, it's uphill battle, but I'm going to give it a shot. Hit him again. This is really gross. All right, let's try it. Okay, good play. All right, obviously this is pretty risky. But I do hit him the most next turn, and I keep my 8 points, so I'm going to try this. Gets gammoned a little more. You know. It should be fine. Been kind of a tough game. It'd be interesting to look at the computer analysis afterwards. All right, I don't want to waste too many pips to make my 2 point because I could definitely still get gammoned here. So I'm just going to try to remain flexible in the outfield. Something like this. I've got good builders for the 7 here if I hit them. Yeah, a lot of blot numbers here, including 4151. Well, at least I didn't waste too many pips. Oh, I can still hit him. Ace. Bah. Stay back for the 1-1. Don't waste too many pips. Just 2 pips. All right, what the hell? I guess I slowed him down a little bit. A little bit. Like wasting 2 pips there, I mean, I don't know if it's right, but it seems like an okay trade-off. Wouldn't waste a lot more than that, though. Like I'm saying I wasted 2 pips because like you want to cross everyone to your 6 point. I crossed 2 guys to my 5 point there. Okay, I'm off. Oh, this is a new feature. This greedy bear off is on. So if you roll a non-double and contact is broken and you can bear off 2 checkers, it'll bear them off automatically. Like if I rolled a 6-4 there. It's supposed to work for doubles too. Like if you roll doubles, you can bear off 4 guys. It bears off all 4 guys for you, just like it did there. But it didn't work that way for bets. But yeah, apparently it works now. Like it wouldn't play the move automatically for you, like all the other sites do, you know. All right, so I'm down 2 zip, so I should be pretty aggressive with the cube. Ugh. When offering an initial cube, and I should take pretty deep. Like this, no way, this is a cube. Like the score is reversed. Maybe you could argue that's a cube. Like if he was down 0-2, it still wouldn't be a cube, but it'd be closer. Okay, this is a good play if he, well actually I don't know, between 20 and 21. I would play 21 here. Spread him out a bit more, but I'm not sure that's correct. All right. He's very, well, the 3s are a little duped. That's another idea. Could just run. Well, I don't know about this, but I'm going to try this. Okay, so I don't know about this. I'm winning. So I make that point, he enters. There's still lots of play left, although I got a pretty solid edge. All right, I'm going to take a roll. Yeah, it's a pretty good sequence. I think. Let's see if he wants to take this or not. I think he should. He's got such a nice board. I don't know though. I mean, so too. He's got three men back behind my nice structure in a very impure front position. Seems like a tougher decision than last game, last roll, anyways. Hmm. Honestly, I would take this, but I'm not sure about it. It's a little hard for me to make progress. Although this does a good job of it. I mean, 20 to 10 is pretty decent play too, but this should win more gammons, putting him up on the bar. He's got this blot in the outfield. Yeah, double match point. I think you do play 20 to 10. Ah. I wonder what my take point on the recube is typically here. Depends. I mean, it does depend on how effective my recubes to 8 are going to be. Obviously, I can take pretty deep, but I don't know how deep. Nice. Oh, hey, Alex. Okay, this looks pretty solid. Alright, do I hit him loose here? I don't know. I assume he's not splitting here. That'd be a little suicidal. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with 13 to 7. I guess you could argue it wins more. Yeah, so I actually don't know. Between hitting and playing 13 to 12 or just playing 13 to 10. I played 13 to 10. He's got kind of a decent game if he rolls a 3 a little bit. So this does win more gammons. It doesn't win as many games, but maybe it's worth it at the score. His board's pretty good though, you know, so I don't know about this. I'm gonna try it. Huh. Yeah, what happened, gross. Yeah, what happened was I was like growing out my hair because I wanted to try like putting it in a ponytail. And so the hair just got kind of wild. And so I didn't like not wearing a hat. So I tried a bunch of things like a beret or whatever. And I settled on wearing that like beanie all the time. But I didn't get a haircut for like, I don't know, like 9 months or something, and it wasn't looking good. So eventually I gave it up. So what the hell is this? Doesn't seem like I win too much now. Get gammon, but gammons don't really hurt me that much. Huh. I got okay structure. I can maybe win this. Can I win this like 30 or something? 2 on the roof is a little tough though, you know. I just sort of like this structure over here. So let's see, make some progress. I enter 1. He's gonna go after me. I don't know about this. For money, obviously, it's some monster pass, but the score makes it pretty tricky. Yeah, what happened? Actually, the final straw, I was like trying on some clothes in a dressing room. You know, they got the big mirror, the bright mirror, and I took off my hat to put on to try on a t-shirt or whatever. And my hair looked like Steve Bannon's hair. You know how it's kind of like long and flat and straight on the sides, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get a cut. I don't like that at all. It's got the same like kind of color, all like same like grayish color. Okie dokie. All right, so now I know my take point. I should know my take point anyways. So I can pass and go to 6 away, 1 away. 6 away, 1 away, or I can take and play for the match after redoubling to 8. Oh no, it's 7 away, 1 away, so that's like 9%. Maybe I should take more of a balanced approach here. I am up in the race quite a bit, and he's gonna, I don't know, he's happy to hit and cover if he can cover on the 5 point, but it's still pretty risky for him, you know? And in fact, if I do that, maybe I shouldn't do the 2 like that. On the other hand, I do have some time if I do this. Let's try this. Yeah, maybe not playing this that well. But, you know, we'll look at the computer analysis, maybe try to learn something. Obviously, you can play completely safe there, but I don't know. I thought with the 2 blots, I had some license to try something. You know, get some flexibility, slot the 4 points, keep decent cover numbers. Well, that makes it easy. Something better here. Yeah, maybe. Mostly, I want to get a guy on the 5 here. Get this nice triangle-y structure. Right, if people want to start learning like the match equity stuff, I always recommend like starting by memorizing the 1 away Crawford match equities. So in other words, you should know within 1% or so how much you win from 7 away, 1 away Crawford, and then memorize the 2 away scores. Because that stuff comes up the most. And then there's something called Neal's numbers, which kind of lets you approximate the rest of the table. NEIL apostrophe S numbers, invented by Neil Kazaros. So that can help you sort of get like a decent handle. That's pretty much all I do. You know, I don't memorize a lot of other stuff for match equities. So it kind of gives you a decent handle on like the entire match equity table. So you can Google. There's like several match equity tables out there, but I'm sure you can Google like the Extreme Gammon XG match equity table. Oh yeah. I mean, Rebecca's like really big in Armenia. Like I grew up sort of playing it. Just because my family always played it at family gatherings. I didn't take it seriously until, I don't know, my early 20s or whatever. But, you know, I was familiar with it my entire life. Okay, we can have a little fun here. How am I getting away with this? Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, what the hell? Well, not think the computer will like this one. So when did you start taking the game seriously, Alex? I don't know if you knew. No, he hasn't played for a long time, but there's this little backgammon player, Mark Damish, who got me into it a little bit. Like I was at work and I was like, I don't know, I was goofing around on the computer on a break or whatever, and I was just playing on this old backgammon site. And Mark Damish walked by and he saw me playing and he like watched me for a bit and I made a move and he's like, oh, it's an okay move, but there was a better plan where maybe you'd like do this for this reason. I'm like, oh, okay. And then like we actually started playing. We actually started playing like for 50 cents a point during lunchtime or whatever. And that's sort of how I got introduced to serious backgammon. Oh yeah, another 1-2-4 game. I think I had the structure on stream like a while back. Actually, the same 1-2-4 game maybe around 2002. Yeah. So I guess I got a few years on you then, because I guess late 90s for me. All right, I don't know if I wanted to hit anyways. Board's not quite together yet. Yeah, probably do not want to hit this with a 6. Unless maybe I can cover at the same time. If I got hit here, I might get kind of stuck back there. I mean, it could help or it could hurt. So I don't know. It would have been interesting to see if he would have hit this or not. All right, let's remain flexible. Six two now. Got a decent front position. If I don't, I'm doing this, and then I'm sort of hoping not to give up hoping not to crunch next turn. So I guess I do have to hit here, and then I guess this. Keeps him from priming me anyways. Yeah, in fact, the first few years I played, I was playing on Fibs, which is still around apparently. I guess computers were just coming out, or good computers were sort of just coming out around that time. But I didn't really use computers for the first like couple of years of studying. Mostly just like read books and played a lot and talked to people, played Chouette and stuff. Got like pretty decent, I thought. Like even before I like started using computers seriously. Yahoo Games, yeah, I remember that also. Excite Backgammon, was that something? It might have been the same thing as Yahoo, I don't remember. No, Excite was a different site, I think. And then Gridgammon got popular. Oh, it was called Games Grid back then. That had like that's still around too. It has a really nice interface. I don't think there's a timer though, which kind of sucks. But yeah, they during the poker boom, they tried making like this poker site that didn't really work because there's a million poker sites out there, and their poker site didn't offer anything particularly different or nice, so it didn't work. I did. Yeah, I got that email. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm interested. I'll be interested to see. I'll be interested to see if it can be like improved upon by modern neural net techniques. You know, modern machine learning stuff. That's sort of what I'm most interested in. Whether they can do that or not. Oops. Yeah, I guess I'm just still doing okay here, even though I only have 2 anchors. All right, so nothing other than 6-2 here, I assume. Oh, you could play. I guess you could play 5-2, 3-2. Feels a little wrong, but I don't know. Okay, I'm going to keep the spare here in case I hit from here. All right, so don't roll double ones. Good. All right, this feels okay to me here. I think I'm gonna pull this one out somehow. Yeah, I like covering the 7 here. I like slotting the 7, I think. All sorts of plays. This PR is going to be ugly. Got good outfield coverage here. 4s and 5s. Okay. Well, how about 3? I do want to go after him with 4s here. And 3s. Especially 3s. All right, 6s and 4s. Just cover 1, 2. Yeah, covers just like I planned. Good slot here, I guess. Maybe it's unnecessary though. Like if he rolls an ace, I think I do regret slotting. Double 2s now is a little awkward. Not too bad. Okay, let's just go for it. Good. All right, boxes is safe. Is there anything better? This is maybe slightly safer. I don't know. This is fine. Good. Yeah, don't. I don't really care about the gammon here, so I'm gonna play a little conservatively. Like safe. Like I might safest is probably this. Although it's a little odd up top. Like odd 7 checkers on the top 2 points. But the other plays have their problems too. Well, I don't know. All right. It'd be okay to rip there, I think, because I can't really lose this. Gammons are worth something, right? So if I roll like a 6-2 here, I think it's probably right not to take a checker off. Not that it matters that much. Almost always you're doing the greedy bear off thing, but I think that might have been an exception. You just take 1 off there and stack the 2 so you don't miss horribly on later deuces. Anyways, okay. So 6-1, good. Technically this might be too good, but I don't think the computer thinks so. So I'm gonna double, hope he takes. Being a student of the game though, he should know that this is a pretty solid pass. Good. And then I guess I just cube him. Since he navigated that previous position well, he probably knows he should take everything at the score. And I don't want to forget to double. Yeah, I'm most curious about my pass in the 2-0 game, the pass of the recube. Like that could be a big something, and I don't know what. Okay, let's go for it at the score. Okay, I would probably do that also. All right, I guess the priority is to do this. Oh, no, actually, I can play 16 to 11. Just leave one blot exposed and just minimal shots. Yeah, maybe that's actually better. That didn't work. Shoot. Because usually I'm making that, usually I'm getting away with it, making that point next turn. Keeps the 8 point. Yeah. With the blot in my board, he should play 13 to 10 here for sure. If he plays that 5. Yeah, I wonder a little bit about something like this. Because his aces, he's not hitting with most of his aces, I think. So let's try this. Like here, he should make his 5. Good. Yeah, good play. So similar to duplication. Although I think there's probably more hits here. Oh, love 6 to 4. It's not too bad though. But gammas only go one way, so let's try this. Yeah, like here, I think again, I think you should forego hitting. Now I gotta be very afraid of being hit. Okay, so let's try this. I couldn't make my 5 points safely there, I hope. Did I miss something there? No. Well, it's blocked still. I need a deuce. Or a 6 if he switches, but no, I would play it like this. Okay. Crap. Great shot. Deuce. No, this looks weird. Oh, he gets to spread things out nicely here. Now, why not get 4 builders for the deuce there? 6 to 5, 6 to 3. Oh, I guess he wanted to get the outfield check closer to home. Yeah, I think maybe the builders were the priority there. But what do I know? I'm getting creamed. All right, let's start up XG. Oh, hey Simon, how you doing? All right, yeah, let's take a look at the XG analysis. You can click on his name and then click on block. I would never do that to Alex. Such a good ambassador to the game. All right, let's resign gracefully here. And then take a look at how ugly this match was. All right, let's see what GNU says. Yeah, I played a 5. It's actually going to come up in XG, I think, because I was up on the bar for a lot of the match. So I think I probably the pass in the 2-0 game is really bad. But let's take a look. Sometimes sometimes it surprises me like where my blunders are. Honestly, don't think the backgammon game is going to be that bad, even though I played a little loose. But anyways, okay. Okay, let's put me on the bottom. Yeah, is this 2-0 game? Oh, yeah, it's not even good enough. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, it's a 0.4 position. Let's see, I win 31%. Obviously, I'm getting gammoned a ridiculous amount, but due to the score, it doesn't matter much, right? He doubles to 4. He wins a single game. That's like almost as good as winning the game. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I mean, I thought I might win in the 30s, or I thought I might win around 30, but I thought, I guess if I win around 30, that should be, given that gammons are kind of irrelevant, I guess that should be a big indication that this is some huge take. So let's actually see. So analyze cube information. Okay, so the dead cube take point for black is 26, non-gammon adjusted. So given that I'm going to get huge recube leverage, yeah, the take point is probably more like, say you ignore gammons, the take point is probably more like 20 or something, you know. Yes, I don't know why I didn't think in those terms. Like I should have been able to find this. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty well stuck. I mean, I saw that aspect of the position, and somehow I was thinking like, oh, maybe I win this 30 or something. But somehow I didn't connect that would mean this is a big this is a big take. I mean, yeah. So gammon adjusted only brings up the take point a couple percent or something. It's because the gammon value on 4 is only like 0.16 apparently, right? So. And what is that? That's like 1/7 or something. 1/6. So you multiply. So ignoring my recubes, say, the way the math works is you multiply 1/6 times 47%, and then you get you get 8% or whatever. And then you would normally add that to the take points, the gammonless take point. That would be the new take point, gammon adjusted. But the thing is, I'm redoubling all the time here, so it's kind of like his gammons are like even less valuable than that. Yeah. So what's the lesson here? I mean, the lesson here is just knowing your take point is very low, obviously, right? So redouble where you're down in the match a ton. You can roughly estimate the wins if you know you're over 20 here, which isn't crazy at all given the good structure. You should be able to get the big take here. Yeah, I don't know, I just didn't think in the right terms. Maybe I was distracted or something by giving commentary. So that was probably the big blunder, right? I made one checker play blunder and one cube blunder. So what's my I still played a 5 somehow, even after that like 0.6 blunder to pass this. 2-2. If the score was 2-2. Let me save this and we can play around a little bit. Right, so in some sense, that gammons are still not very valuable for them. Because again, he just wins a single game. He just wins a single game, and like it pretty much wins him the match anyways after redoubling to 4. But yeah, the take point is much elevated there. So yeah, I agree with you that it should be a pass. Well, first of all, 0-0, it's a monster pass and too good, right? Big pass or too good to double. Looks like I just crashed. Yeah, I'm actually probably not too good, but it's some big pass. Let's try this again. Okay. So 0-0 recube. Yeah, some big pass. You could argue it's too good. 2-2. Yeah, I agree it's still a pass, but it's not a ridiculous take. And then yeah, 0-2 or even 0-1. Maybe it's just some. Yeah, this is how did I pass this? 0.6 blunder. Well, I'm glad it came up because it's sort of clear where my thinking went wrong. You know, I mean, once I like estimated the wins at like arguably 30%, it should be a slam dunk take. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Anyways, let's go through the game. Let's go through the plays I played. Okay. Okay. A 3-away, 3-away. So 3-away, 3-away should be a big take and no double, right? Because on a recube that is, right? Because the take point is just a raw 25 there, and I'm winning 30, and most of his wins are gammons, so he doesn't want to completely kill his gammons by doubling. So that should be no double. That should be no double take. Or it might say too good to double take, you know. We can look. I just want to see if it says too good take or not. 3-away, 3-away. No double take. Yeah, his equity. It can in matches. It actually can say too good to double take. Sometimes it's when the no double equity is greater than 1. But it's still a take due to the fact that like the trailer wins a ton. Huh. Okay, but anyways, let's go through my non-ridiculous plays. Okay, so I make a decent play here, right? I make the great 4 point, and then I'm thinking, oh, he's one man back. I mean, I could make the 9. Right, but he has one man back. He's pretty flexible. I do want to try to contain that checker. 6-4. Okay, I don't have a cube before the roll. I'd have a cube there if he played badly. Okay, great 5-2. Good. Oh yeah, I saw this at the time. Bar 28-7. Yeah, I think I should have found this play. I mean, my play is pretty safe, right? Entering on the 1 and then playing 13-8. But it really overstacks. It really overstacks the 8 points. So this distribution is a lot nicer. I don't love the shot here, but you know, you get away with it. It's a nice slot. And I think you want the guy on the 20 and not the 24. So this has a lot more going for it than what my play does. Okay. Yeah, good. I thought a little bit about slotting here, but The alternative is just fine. Usually it's not right to slot with the last spare and a point. In other words, you're stripping your 8 point by slotting. And the double's okay. It takes him pretty clear due to all this contact left in the position. Okay, 5-4. Yeah, try to contain that back checker. He's attacking me. It's probably slightly better stuff. He left me like 5-5 here and didn't get great builders. Like here is probably something a little better than what he did because I'm hitting him with 2-2. Okay, I don't mind my play too much here. My play does win a little more. So I do this, which obviously I don't like getting hit with 1s and 9s. But if he can't get this guy to safety and he doesn't roll an ace, I'm going to get extra shots at this guy and extra long-term flexibility. And I don't have to play a destructive 2-8 to 6. But it pays, obviously I'm paying more gammons because I get hit, I get gammon more, I guess one problem with my play is, like a lot of the numbers that don't get this guy to safety contain 1s, So I'm sort of diversifying his numbers a bit by doing this. But it still does win a little more. I get a lucky hit. 8-5. Oh, it doesn't like 8-5 here. Yeah, I saw 6-3, and I just couldn't stomach it. But yeah, once again, this wins more, but only slightly more. Because you get hit, and it's hard to win after getting hit, I guess. And obviously, you're paying more damage when you get hit. So again, not worth the risk by quite a lot. 6-3 is pretty bad. It's still sort of alive for doing stuff, though. It's not like completely dead. It's just not alive for making the 5. And I guess it keeps the spare on the 8s. So I guess I can kind of see this. But yeah, it's pretty unnatural to me not to play 6-3 when I got like this decent smooth play available that does something good when it works, 5-1, okay. Okay, now it likes the risky play, finally. You could play safe, get gammon less. But yeah, it's pretty hard to hit from here. And you're playing a destructive 5 on the home front. So compared to this, I mean, you hate getting hit with 6s. But unlike the other position, the 6s are the good numbers anyway. 6s are like pretty decent numbers anyways. But yeah, he rolls small. I get a direct shot at him. I think there might be 9 numbers that don't get by me. Even like ignoring this blot, is that 9? So 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3. No, there's only 7. Yeah, there's only 7 numbers that don't get this guy to the 15 or further. But then there's stuff like 5-2 that doesn't get this guy to safety, and there's the problem with this blot. So I'm really putting like I'm really putting a ton of extra pressure on him by doing this. And so the computer says it's worth the 6 shots to do this, except maybe a gammon save type score, maybe. Actually, yeah, gammon save looks to be close given the numbers. Right. Yeah, 4-point board. Yeah, I got to be a little careful because it was like decent board, and that's like why it wants to do like not too bad stuff here where you still have decent contacts. Like here. But yeah, there's so much going for jumping out with the 5 here that the computer does like it here. Get the great board. And do I eventually hit him, right? No, I don't hit him. I get a shot, but I miss. Yeah. I stay back for the 1-1. You hit about 1% here by giving him the bad 1-1. Right, he's about 3% to roll 1-1, and you're about 1 in 3 to hit it, so you get like an extra 1% hits. That overstates it a little bit. It's more like 0.8% hit or 0.7% hits or something. So yeah, I don't know. They gammon more because I'm kind of wasting pips by putting them on the 5 point. But it turns out it's very close, as I imagined it would be. And then I do get to save the gammon. Okay, so this is the 2-0 game. He attacks me. I come in 6-3. What does it do with the 6-3? Okay, it does hit. Yeah, all sorts of plays here. I mean, my play looks like pretty bloody. Pretty shoddy and bloody because I'm not really duping that much. Because I got 5s and 4s here and 3s in the outfield. Similar to this. I'm not sure why this is better. Sort of disconnects the back checkers. But I thought about just doing this, you know, playing with a little less risk against the stronger board. But no, computer wants to play aggressively, especially at the score. Both wins and loses more gammons to hits. So it sort of makes sense at the score. And then he dances, and apparently I have a pretty strong cube here. I was thinking about this sequence where like I cover, he enters, and then maybe he still has a take. That's like a pretty good sequence for me. But then it happened, and I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe you should actually pass it. Of course, cover dance is some huge market loser. That's a huge pass at the score. I could also make 2 points with something like 3-3 or 1-1. 5-5, there's a lot, you know. So there is some tremendous numbers there. Right, yeah, I lose my market on like some cover enter sequence at least some of the time. But it's not big. It's not a big pass. I guess there's just enough sequences there where you're doing more than covering and he enters, right? Like cover dance or make 2 points. So it's enough of the score. Wouldn't be enough at 0-0. Okay, so yeah, 6-4. Winning best for the win is probably 21-10. No, best. The computer says best for the win is even this. You know, he's got this blot in the outfield. You're keeping him from making a high anchor some of the time. Okay, pop in with 6-4. The computer wants to stay back, get another builder, put a little pressure on this guy. I do this, which does win a little more, but doesn't win as many gammons. Pretty close. He hits me, I dance, I get lucky, get solid up. Okay, it does like hitting here. I wasn't sure 13-10 was wrong, because I've already escaped everyone, right? So there's some temptation to play safe. But then I was thinking, well, I play 13-10 is still a pretty tough ride home. Like just for the win, say, especially if he rolls a 3, right? So you hit and get away with it. It's good. It's good for the gammon and it's good for the win if you get away with it. So you could argue hitting actually does better for the win. Turns out it's very close. You can't argue 13-10 is better for the gammon, right? So that can sort of make things come into focus. Apparently it wants to. I guess I'm leaving I was going to say I'm leaving extra shots, but I don't think that's true. This is a 13, 14, 15 shots. This is 13, 14 shots. This actually saves a shot over the computer's top choice. And it's easier to cover. And it's a better point. And I'm more flexible in the outfield. So why does the computer like 4-3 over my play? That's weird. I don't get that. The blot in the outfield is not a big deal, right? I guess that's what the computer's thinking. It doesn't want the blot in the outfield for when it gets hit. But this has a lot of benefits, though, doesn't it? What am I missing here? I must be missing something. 13, 14, 15. Yeah, I don't know. It's a mystery to me. Okay, so he plays 6-4, hits and splits. I dance. Yeah, I make a ridiculously bad pass. I think. Yeah, I play mostly 5-point matches, so I don't see this cube decision a lot. But I do think. It's a good policy when you're up in the match like this and get doubled in a situation where gammons aren't going to hurt you. Make a rough estimate of wins. Like, even if you can realize you're winning over 25% here, that should strongly indicate this is a take at the score where gammons don't really matter. Right, like the money, say the money cubeless gammonless take point's 25, right? Here I'm down in the match and accepting a recube. It should be less than 25, ignoring gammons, and then gammons aren't a big deal like we talked about. So yeah, if you realize you're in the 20s here, even you should realize this is a big pass. Realizing you're in the 20s might not be completely trivial, but yeah, these points are going to stay open for a while, and got a lot of compensation over here. Yeah, so this was mostly just a brain fart, I guess. I just didn't think about it the right way. I'm going over it just to try to like internalize this type of thinking for me. Like, another way to approach it is like, I mean, I know this is like some big, huge money pass. So it's like, well, is the score a big enough deal to make it a take? It's like, oh, 2-0, maybe not, right? But so that's not really a great way to think about it at this somewhat lopsided score when you're taking a recube. Maybe just estimating the win should help you a lot. Yeah, I thought this would be a big. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but it's like, I feel like I should have gotten it. I feel like if I thought in those terms, it would have been obvious to me. And I get that it's not easy to estimate your wins, but I think it should be. I mean, if you understand match equities, don't you think it should be pretty easy to realize that if you arguably win 30 there, it should be some huge take. Like, if you're familiar with like sort of match equity stuff. Yeah. Like, I feel like once I thought, oh yeah, maybe 30%. I feel like I should have known that was some huge take. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, I really feel like I should have gotten that right. But like I said, I'm glad it came up. Even though like it's a little embarrassing to pass that, because it helps me remember this type of thinking, which I think should help me in the future. Tough to win somehow. Yeah. I see. Oh yeah. Thanks. Thanks. Good thoughts. Anyways, yeah, this double was completely obvious to me because it's pretty reasonable to cube this for money, and I'm down 0-4. I mean, it's a decent money double, and it's at least an arguable money double. I think it is a money double, and it's pretty gammonish, so sort of indicates it's probably a pass at this score, but the opponent takes. 8-2-7-6. Okay, I'm hanging back. Oh, 5-2 is tough. Okay, so I guess the thing I was gonna say the thing you don't want to do is play safe, but no. Apparently the computer likes this a little better than my play on the plus eval. The computer is saying, okay, you have this one opportunity to do this while you're up 18 in the race, while he has 2 blots in his board and only a 2-point board. So the computer says now is the time. Even though it's like a triple shot in the outfield and a lot of hidden cover numbers. Like, I think despite the risk, he is he's at least hitting and covering if he can cover the 5-point blot. I mean, maybe he doesn't hit with the 5-1. I don't know. But yeah, there are a lot of hidden cover numbers, but they're still dangerous. My point is they're still dangerous. Like, okay, so he hits with a 2-4, or say 2-3, hits and covers. You're like direct shots at him. It's gonna get gammon some on 2. So I don't know. I saw that play, but I thought I got some time. I got some time to clear that later. So I try a little bit of a hybrid approach. Or I do give him some hidden cover numbers, but I keep the anchor in case of an accident, and I get to slot my 4-point. Still a double shot out there though. Whereas he rolls 4-4, I disengage with 6-6, and then I somehow lose this. Yeah, I somehow lose this. It doesn't look like he missed a cube. Yeah, I didn't miss a cube. He thought about doubling this, which looks. He thought about doubling this, which looks kind of crazy to me at the score. Yeah, he's 60%, but my as we talked about, my take point's like 9 or something. So it's miles away from a pass. Hey, this is kind of a neat play to know. This is what the computer does, even for money. Split with 5-4. You're supposed to do this with a 6-3, apparently, even though it leaves a million shots. Gammon save, maybe. I guess gammon save, maybe you could justify this. Yeah, 5-1. So is that after you leave the anchor with a 5-2, he rolls 5-1? Yeah. So we gotta take a look. Yeah, so some of it's pretty interesting whether he should hit or not there. Like, he has to be quite careful about getting gammons. So you make the right play. 5-1. I see. So he can hit and pick up the blots. I get sort of 1s and 2s and 9s back at him. That's kind of a lot of shots for some plan that's like not. It's not too likely to work. Yeah, it's not. No, I wouldn't say it's completely obvious to me because it does win. It does win more to hit here with a 5-1. So you'd go like 5-1, 3 blots. Yeah, I wouldn't think this is not obvious to me, but I guess I wouldn't hit. There's still a little bit of contact if you don't hit. And you're not down huge in the race. And yeah, you really don't want to be gammoned. Yeah, I guess it's pretty bad to hit. Does win the most. Not by a ton though. 35 versus say 30. Does this. That's cute. Yeah, maybe the key is just seeing, like, you do something like this, or a more natural play. Say, you're doing okay because the race isn't that bad, and black might have trouble getting this guy safe. So I guess that's why I like this. Like, black, it's still tough for black to safety this guy sometimes. So you want the board right away, even though it looks a little funny. Okay, so. Something like 2-3 you hit, right? I mean, that seems pretty clear to me. Like, that's acceptable risk there, and you're making your 5. Yeah, so that's very clear. So there might be some stuff that's close. I don't know. 4-3 say is a little riskier. No, 4-3 is clear to hit still. Maybe like whenever you can make your 5 is good to hit here. Yeah, I think that's true. See, 2-4 is sort of interesting. You can make the 1 or the 5. You'd probably make the 1, but I wouldn't be sure about it. So let's see. You make the 1. Well, you're leaving 6 shots anyways. Actually, so maybe since you're only leaving 11 the other way, maybe actually do this. 2-4. 2-2. You make the ace. Here you can make, so you can hit, make the ace, and then do something else productive with the last 2, I guess. So let's say 2-4. 2-4 is close apparently. 2-2 you make the ace because you get to make the 9 point at the same time. Yeah, good eye. Okay. Yeah, 2-4. 2-4 seemed like unclear to me, but yeah, I probably would have made the I probably would have been able to find the 5 just because okay, so it's 11 shots, but you don't think of it as 11 shots, right? Because the other play leaves 6 shots anyways. So he's thinking, okay, it's 5 extra shots to make a much better points. It seems like it might be worth it. Anyways, yeah, I go a little nutsy with this 4-4. Yeah, the computer likes something that actually might work. If he doesn't roll a 5 or a 3. I have a little fun where I leave probably a triple shot or worse. 5s, 2s, 4s, and 6s. Yeah, basically leaving a quad shot here. But turned out to be an interesting game. Yeah, like I don't know, I probably wouldn't, unless maybe I can cover here, I probably wouldn't give up an anchor to hits. I just sort of build a board and hit later. Like I guess I would hit with 6-1. But yeah, 13-7, 6-5 isn't too bad. So you don't hit with something like, I don't know, 3-2 or whatever. That'd be oh no, it actually doesn't mind it too much. It surprises me that it doesn't mind hitting here. Is it because the timing is kind of bad to hold all 3 points? Yeah, like here hitting's crazy, or it really doesn't like it, I guess. No, it's not crazy, but doesn't like it. Yeah, so part of the problem, I think, is that if you just hang back with all 3 anchors, say for roll 3-2, say you do something like this, you're not going to get to maintain all 3 anchors while he comes around. Like you don't have enough time in the outfield to like keep your board intact and keep all 3 anchors. Yeah. Right. I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like if your timing is like really good, if your timing is like really tremendous, yeah, it's kind of tough. I don't know. 5-1 here, Let's see if the computer hits. Yeah, you're right. The computer doesn't hit here when your timing is good. It maintains these 3 anchors. It slowly builds the board. Waits for white to break down a little more. Before breaking one of the anchors to hits. Right. Coming off front anchor, right? It's the back anchors. Yeah. In fact, I think when I hit, when I eventually do hit him here, I actually do come off a back anchor when I have the option to come off the front anchor. So we'll see what the computer says about that. I mean, I know it's like quite different than the positions we're talking about, but I was wondering about that. I was wondering whether I should like keep the 1-2 game or like have like a 1-4 game. And I did have I did have some reason to prefer the 1-4 game. But yeah, we'll take a look at it when we get there. All right, 4-1. Okay, so I slowly build the board. Oh, 2-1. Yeah. So okay, so it is saying the timing is quite bad here. These guys are almost home. I'm gonna have to start crunching my board very soon. So the computer's thinking, okay, you're not gonna get to maintain all three anchors. You want to maybe give up an anchor on your own terms. So it does like 24-21 here. Like I guess it's worried about having to run from the front anchor and then getting primed to a 1-2 game after you vacate the front anchor, which is sort of why I preferred the 1-4 game later. Yeah, like here for instance, I thought about doing this to maintain the 1-2 back game as opposed to the 1-4 back game or 2-4 later. But I didn't like the fact that he comes in and attacks me on the 21 point and then makes a prime, and then the 1-2 game might be hard to time. Right. Anyways, he starts scooping everything up. So I still got a decent 1-4 game. I still win this 40% plus apparently, especially after he screws up his builders. All right, 4-2, and then these containment plays. These are always tough. You have like a number of conflicting priorities. Yeah, I think you're all right though. Like a lot of times you would prefer keeping the back anchors, but it's just when you have to worry about being primed there. Yeah. Yeah, like if you know you're going to get a well-timed 1-2 game out of it when things go bad, you do prefer the 1-2 game to the 1-4 game probably. But it's going to be tough to time the 1-2 game. All right, yeah, so I'm trying to contain this back checker that I hit it. Yeah, you can leave everything spread out if you want with this play. I thought about this, but I didn't want to give him like these double ones, double twos, maybe like 1-3 hit numbers. Well, the 1-3 probably isn't a big deal. So I button up, the computer doesn't mind it. I just try to keep things spread out in the outfield. Like I said, these plays are tough because you got conflicting priorities. Like for instance, I wouldn't mind making my 8 point here. That's kind of a decent point, but it's worse outfield control. So you have to weigh these priorities, and it's not often clear how to do it. You don't want to leave a ton of shots, for instance. But if you want to keep things spread out for good outfield control, sometimes you got to leave extra shots. So that's why I find these plays pretty tough. I do get to make the 7, so that's pretty clear. I get to hit another checker. Yeah, and in fact, the computer's probably not that great at these positions either. At least it screws up the cube actions all the time in these containment positions. But anyways, I do get to attack, and yeah, I think you can slot here if you want. But if you know he's rolling an ace, you do sort of regret slotting, because that means he's more likely to anchor later because you don't have a bunch of builders on him. So usually I play it more like this or like this. Only slot once he enters, if he has 2 on the roof, that is. But it can't. If you're running out of time to actually make that point, I think then it might become right to slot it. Like a slot here, I think. One, because the builders are on the same point, but also you're running out of time to make it naturally. The checkers are pretty close to home. Oh no, here's close. I don't think that's quite right. Yeah, it's close. Anyways, that's how I usually think about these positions. Where there's 2 on the roof and you have a 6 prime and the other guy has a crunch board, say. But yeah, eventually you do get the closeout naturally. Obviously, you got to hit loose here because you don't want him to anchor. And then, yeah, I can play a little bit more aggressively for the gammon here. I mean, I didn't because the gammon doesn't really matter that much, but it matters a little bit. It like takes away the guy's free drop. And I guess the idea is you can't rip it after ripping 2. You can't really lose. And you pick up actually 1% backgammon by doing this. Backgammons are very valuable at these Ottaway Crawford scores. So yeah, I guess I should have been able to find this if I thought about the backgammons. Yeah, I clear the point, letting him in. Yeah, probably same with the 6-1. I should rip 2 for the same reasons. Although now you can't really win a backgammon. But you do pick up more gammons and they are worth a little something, and you can't really lose this reasonably. Yeah, double pass is good. If it was, honestly, if it was 2 away, 1 away, I think technically this would be too good. It might actually be too good at this score, but the computer I think screws this up. It thinks stuff that is too good isn't too good at these even away Crawford scores, post Crawford scores. Sorry, like what I'm saying is like, say it's 2 away, 1 away post Crawford. I believe the computer likes playing on for the gammon here because you still get a good double in when things go bad, right? The way the math works out is the opponent should take if he's over 50% to win and pass if he's under 50% to win. If it's not clear to you, well, like think about why. Think about what happens when he passes, right? He's 50% in the match when he passes. So at 2 away, 1 away post Crawford, I think the computer does like playing on in certain cases. I think it becomes more too good if you roll it out, which is why I think it cashes too much. And in fact, during the rollout, it's going to cash too much also, which is an even stronger indication that it's that things are actually more too good than the computer thinks. So that's why I think possibly at this score, which has sort of similar logic to 2 away, 1 away. I think this it wouldn't shock me if this is like if God would play this and he would play on here, you know, like a perfect player. Hey, this is always a cute play. After your opponent rolls 5-3 for money, it's like not too bad to slot the 5. So you can do it at like gammon go type scores. Yeah, like he would need to yeah, like he could hit you in the outfield, or he could roll like a double, or he could like point on you after splitting. Although there you're not splitting that much. Yeah, so as you say, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough for him to regain the market here. At least at 2 away, 1 away. 6 away, 1 away should take a little. You should take a little more aggressively often, because he can retain the free drop for later. So I guess it's easier. It's easier for him to get his market back at 6 away, 1 away than it is at 2 away, 1 away. Like I was thinking, okay, well he could point on, like I could split and he could point on me, but actually you're not splitting much here. Like because you've made the nice priming point and he made a stacked position. Like with 4-3 for instance, it'd be pretty bad to split here. So you bring 2 guys down. Let's just verify that I'm thinking about that correctly. Like you want to err on the side of like a priming game and not like an anchoring and splitting game. Okay, no, I guess I'm wrong. Yeah, so actually, yeah, no, the computer does want to actually do this at the score, where like so you can regain the market by like say rolling a pointing number here, or as you say, like a decent double. Huh? I wonder if it's score based. Well, yeah, it's all very close still. Is this money? Like for money, I'm definitely bringing 2 guys down here, so as not to split into the stacks. And I would have thought splitting would be like pretty bad. But it's actually right. Yeah, I don't get this. It seems like all indications point to you want to be building and not splitting and running. Hmm. Yeah. So like, am I right on 2-3, or does it also split with 2-3? Yeah, it also splits with 2-3. I guess the two isn't that good. The two down isn't that good. Hmm. I mean, I guess I'm overemphasizing the not how bad splitting is here. Like here, like I know you're not supposed to split because you're getting attacked when you do, and yeah, splitting is quite bad here. I guess it's just not that dangerous here, so you don't have to worry about being blitzed too much. Hmm. You have the 5-point defensively though. I see. So like, if, for instance, like his hit loose numbers aren't that strong for him. Yeah, I think that is a factor. Hmm. Yeah, I was surprised. I'm surprised. Yeah, learn something new every day. Sort of reminds me a little bit of like I'm carrying the concept like a little too far. Like for instance, like here, I think okay, so your opponent opens with a 6-4, makes like a blitzing and a racing point. Then you roll 5-2, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, I don't want to split against this blitzy point. I want to build, but it's actually not. It's not dangerous to split very much, so it doesn't mind splitting here, you know. So it's sort of similar. It's sort of similar with the 4-3, where like, okay, thematically it doesn't make sense to split, but it's not too bad. Thematically, it's not too far off because it's not dangerous to do so, and you do want to get the backmen going, I guess. Yeah, this game is so hard, man. You know, there's just blunders lurking everywhere. Anyways, okay, I do hit him. Okay, I'm not sure I actually saw this play. I mean, I should have seen it, but it looks pretty. I don't think I would have done this even given the score. I wouldn't have done this even if I saw it. I did not consider it. So I do something. I want to make my 5, so I do this. But the computer says it's just too risky. He does have 5s, 3s, and 4s to hit me back. Okay, make a decent play here. Yeah, first impulse was definitely to do something like this. But obviously, it's 2 blocks in the outfield. Duplicate is 4s, actually. I'm not sure I saw that. But it gives up the 8 points. It's a little hard to make progress, especially because you're getting hits. So here I get my 11 point and my 8 point, and I likely get missed and get to make my 5 point next roll. Although I may have to give up an outfield point to do it. But he does hit me. Okay, 14 to 11, 6-4, 3-1, right. Don't worry too much about being hit with aces because those are the numbers that make the 5 or the 7 point anyways. So if he can make a good point on his board, he shouldn't give up his anchor to hit me, which is exactly what happened. So he makes a good play with the 4-1. Right, yeah, you get those 2 assets, and the slot's not too bad for next turn. Yeah, sort of similar stuff here as the last turn. I mean, apparently the computer does want to play safely, but it's close. It's close with this because again the 2s, 4-2, 6-2, they probably don't hit because you want to make a good point with them. But I think there are more good hit numbers. Like probably any 2 except for 4-2, 6-2. Maybe 2-2 he hits and makes the 4. But anyways, he does roll a 4-2, yeah, and he's correct to make the 4 rather than hit. I roll 4-4, I find a safe play. Apparently the computer wants to keep the mid and the 11. What do? I just keep the 11, make the 9. Take some pressure off of them. Apparently my play wins more, but doesn't win quite as many gammons, but it's all very close. I block him, but he attacks, and then I get a decent 5-2, and I'm thinking, okay, he just misses, and I got game. But he hits me, and he crushes me. It's like a little funny. Yeah. Yeah, 2-2 does swing it, I guess, because it's pretty close. Boy, he's playing okay. Yeah, to me, like, his plays looked a little stodgy. Like this, for instance, but he's correctly, like, not leaving any shots for me. Like, I probably would have done something different here. Actually, yeah, here I probably would have done this to get 4 builders for the 2. But his play's okay. It's only 2 builders, but no shots. Can spread things out later. Yeah, here he should spread things out. Although again, is very close. Getting the guy closer to home. Yeah, and then he just beats me. Bah. Yeah, so pretty bad match due to that one ridiculous pass. Yeah, without that, I played okay. All right. Well, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna sign off now. But this was fun. Yeah, thanks for chatting, guys. Yeah, good comments, Simon and Alex. Yeah, definitely learned something. It definitely reminded me how better to think about this position. So I'm gonna try to remember that. I started taking some notes. I mean, I'm sure I've made similar errors before to this. Like, I've seen this concept many times, and I've made similar, huge, ridiculous blunders. But it just hadn't happened recently enough that I, like, remembered how to best think about this. So I started making like a page of notes to, like, remind me of stuff like this that I go over once in a while now. So I'm gonna add this type of thing to the notes. So hopefully I'm better prepared next time something like this comes up. Cool. All right. Well, yeah. And to the future watchers, hope you got something out of this, and I will see you next time.